And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be carrying on the main story of Shadowbringers. And as always, hello from Mithrie. So we are here in the basement of Fort Job at 3519. And we need to talk to Urionje. The quest is called Into the Dark, where we'll get some new leg pieces for level 74. So Urionje is ready to leave, but not before first offering a piece of advice. So ere we depart, there is a custom of the Knights Blessed, which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches befouled. Thus do they take the utmost pains to protect all they can from its taints, including their very names. To speak plain, it is the belief of the Blessed that one's own name must never be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, and in rare cases masters their disciples. So it is that Y'shtola have taken the name of Master Matoya, lest we offend them. I bid you not her true name in the Blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keep a vigil at the Great Woods border. Nice. So I think we're finally headed to that place. Okay, so we're finally going to be heading to the Great Wood. So once we get there, we will continue. Okay, here we are at the border of the Raktika Wood. So let's talk to the guard. So, well met, adventurer. What business brings you here? Yes, of course. Right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
Nice, nice, nice.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Cydia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
Oh, just go away.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule!
Forgive me. A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples,
All for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Nice.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
Yeah, that's my job. Okay, let's talk to Urianger. So, 'tis plain our Asian counterpart meaneth to follow wherever so we lead. Were it otherwise, he would not suffer the overabundance of light in these woods. Verily, it pervadeth every corner, and so long as the Light Warden remaineth, the Sin Eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without surcease. If naught is done, 'tis but a matter of time before the blessed succumb. 2 years past, a swarm of Sin Eaters did lay waste onto their largest settlement, killing a great many of their priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they know not how to go on. Wayward souls in want of a guiding hand. For a mercy, Y'shtola hath provided that which they sorely needed. They have since endeavoured to restore their home, and thither shall we bend our steps, to Fort Gond. Okay, so let's see how far. Okay, we have to go quite far, but then we get to meet up with Y'shtola. But it explains why she's called Master Matoya in the trailer. So once we get there, we will continue. Okay, so we made it to these ruins. So now let's wait at this destination. Hopefully for Y'shtola to show up.
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them!
It's like Kung Fu Panda. We surrender!
These Sin Eaters, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Please, we're not Sin Eaters. Kupo?
Perhaps they speak the truth.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so, I retire to the shade. Good luck.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Enough. Runard, report.
Master Matoya!
There she is.
We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether.
I doubt it. She's probably joking.
Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company, the one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
What? Like, what?
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though she is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but 2 Light Wardens have already perished by her most puissant hand.
It cannot be.
Let's see, it's been too long, clearly. Nice to see you too, Master Matoya. You truly thought me a sin eater?
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
Awesome. Let's talk to her. So you've been busy arriving in the First, I gather, but I would hear the tale of your travels in more suitable surroundings. With 4 gone yet to be rebuilt, the Knights Blessed have made their home in a settlement to the northeast. I'll await you at the entrance. Follow the path through yonder gate and you will find me soon enough. Awesome. Nice. So, we have to travel a decent distance. So, once we get there, we will continue. Okay, so we arrived at her. So, let's talk to her. So, there you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the Twelves would, the forest has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knights Blessed. Okay, cool. Let's go in. Let's discover this together. I feel like I haven't heard that music in a really long time. There we go. Ooh. They've really gone up and beyond this expansion, haven't they?
Slitherbow is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come. I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I've come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
Cool. So that's that quest done. Okay, so the next quest is called A Day in the Neighborhood. Y'shtola is staring off into the distance, lost in thought. I am not indifferent to Thancred's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize for holding him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it heartens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can't but imagine how Elise and Alphanode have changed since arriving here in the first. Change is part of life. We can but hope is change for the better. Perhaps you should be concerned with how you have changed. Okay, whatever. I'm surprised they didn't have the new style. So you're right. And after my untoward remarks to Thancred, no doubt he thinks I changed for the worst. I will have to speak with him later. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look at about Sliverbro. If there's anything you need, pray speak with Runar at the plaza. Okay, so let's see. I like that it has the same music as Matoya's Cave in Dravania Hinterlands. Okay, so let's talk to Runar, sorry. So welcome, friend, welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier. Tell me, what is your name and where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you've brought me may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika. Well, you are welcome to stay with us for as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. So, would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course. Anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our priest slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin-Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. That is not to say that there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again. Now she is with us, and I have no doubt that the others feel the same. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the Dark. But you did not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know that there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to so long as they reside within Sliverbow. To show reverence to the Dark? In a word, yes, but fear not. It is not too involved. Let's begin with something simple. Follow me. Okay, so let's quickly attune to the Aether while we're standing right next to it. Nice. So let us go this way. I'm assuming into this little room. Okay. So let's see what he wants. So, should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple and perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment that I might rid you of the light's impurity? Okay, So let's do it. Kneel. So as Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priests. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint dark energy. A prickling sensation. No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are sin eaters. I jest. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Sliverbow. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alin Tuta. In the language of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or a gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry, merely speak the words Alin Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the Blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. So with the chat mode and say, enter Alin Tuta to greet villagers of Sliverbow. Or Sliverbow. Okay, so I guess we have to go around and we have to say what's up to a few people. Okay, so let's do this. Right. Alin Tuta. The elderly woman smiles warmly. I'm probably saying something like I stink or something. I wonder if anyone else thought if we were being played. Okay. I just wanted to attune that. Next. So, say Alin Tuta. A newly come traveller. Alin Shizi, and welcome to Sliverbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. Awesome. Okay, so let's see where the last one is. Okay. So I guess we have to go into this room. Okay, so let's go talk to Asgir. So, Alin Tuta. So, Alin Chizi, welcome friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see, but fear not. Our medicinal tea will help you keep healthy. Ask, and it is yours. Cool. Right, so let's go back and let's speak to Mithrie. I do like this. It's a thing I was looking forward to, was the story and the exploring new zones, to be honest. And obviously at the moment this is satisfying both. So everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There is still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see now how they've built such a thriving community. Okay, let's complete. Right, so next quest is called A Helping Hand. So judging by the glint in Renar's eye, there is more for you to learn about Sliverbow. So, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodgings for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand? Sure. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug of water to the crops in the square. Okay. May I help too? Of course. One of you can do the filling, the other one can do the watering. Speak with Ursabel when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear the crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Nice. So right then, I'll fill you water. Nice. So let's talk to her. So this was the only jug I could find which was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. Take the jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You will have 45 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Mithrie and try again. Okay. So it's leaking. Let's make sure we get there. You can see the timer counting down. So you have watered half of the plot. Fetch another jug of water to take care of the rest. Okay. Let's go back as quickly as we can. Okay, here we are. So, was there enough water for the plot? Only half. Only half, I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Take another jug of water to the square before the contents leak out. You'll have 30 seconds to complete the task. Should you fail, return to Mithrie and try again. Okay. So, let's go. So, you can see the timer counting down right there. Should be good to go. Should be plenty of time. Okay. So the whole plot has been thoroughly watered. Okay. So let's talk to her. So, well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you in need of something? You watered the crops? Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I have been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Todia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Is there anything else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There is no need. The plot is small. It is true, but provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. I don't know how you manage. Have the Blessed not consider leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history, our faith, how our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Raktika Greatwood. I see you have read our history. But there is a history that is told and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the soul of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seems that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth, they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond the burning skies, in the sunless sea above. That is why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls onto the blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. With so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. This we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. To keep their legacy alive. Cool. So let's complete. Okay guys, so I think that's a good time to stop. So yeah. So anyway guys, if you liked the episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there, you can watch the latest upload down there, or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you guys, bye bye.